In this video, we're multiplying polynomials. Okay, so a couple terms that I'll be using. Monomial. Those are two monomials. That's a one-term polynomial. Same thing with number 2. In number 3, you got a monomial times a binomial. And you see here in number 4, that guy's a trinomial, 3 terms. Okay, so let's start with the first one. What I'm going to do here is just multiply the two numbers together. 4 times 3 is 12. And then use what I learned in the exponents chapter to multiply these two x expressions, x to the second, x to the fourth. You remember, add the exponents. And that's it. I multiplied those two monomials. Same thing down here. Negative 48 is what I get when I multiply 12 times 4, negative 12 times 4. A to the first times a squared is a cubed. B to the fifth times b to the third, b to the eighth. That's it. Okay, now be careful with number 3. We got to distribute. When I got one term out here and more than one here, I got to multiply it by both. I see this mistake a lot. I see the first term done correctly. That'd be 4x cubed. And then a lot of times I just see minus 6. People forgetting to distribute to that second term. And that would give me minus 24x. Okay. Same idea for number 4. For number 3, I'm going to have to distribute this guy through all 3. Okay, so first up, negative 3xy times x squared. You're going to multiply the x's. You get negative 3x cubed y. Next up, negative 3xy times xy. So a negative times a negative gives you a positive. X times x, x squared. Y times y, y squared. And then finally, the third case, negative 3xy times negative 1 is a plus 3xy. Okay, number 5 is our first binomial times binomial. You've probably heard the term FOIL before. Multiply my first two terms. That's the F in FOIL. My second two terms, that's the O. The two inside terms, I. And finally, the two last terms. Okay, so the F in FOIL, x times x, x squared. The O in FOIL, x times negative 5, negative 5x. The I in FOIL, 5x. Positive 5 times positive x, and then the L in FOIL minus 25. Whoops, that got sent down to the bottom. That should be up here. Okay, so you'll notice that these two terms go away, right? When we always want to simplify when we can. So that gives me an answer of just the x squared and the minus 25. Okay, so x squared minus 25 is my final answer for that one because these two terms went away. Okay, there is a trick for that one. If you do notice, that's called a number by its conjugate or an expression by its conjugate, x plus 5, x minus 5. That'll always happen where you'll just get the first term squared and the last term squared. But whenever you're in doubt with two binomials, just FOIL. And that's what we're going to do with the next one. Okay, so that little trick's not going to happen with the next one. You'll get the middle term. So let's go ahead and FOIL. 2x times x, 2x squared. That's what I get when I do that one. And then 2x times 7 plus 14x. Negative 1 times x, negative 1x. Negative 1 times 7, negative 7. Okay, and in this case, you can see there's my like terms to give me an answer of 2x squared plus 13x minus 7. Okay, and that's my answer. Be careful with that one. A lot of times I'll see students just do this guy and this guy, right? When you look at it, you just say, oh, that one, 2x squared, that one, minus 7. I'm sorry, the L minus 7, and I'm done. Careful with that. Make sure you FOIL. When in doubt, FOIL if it's ever a two-term by two-term. All right, let's keep on going. We got a couple more to go. If you want, pause the video and try these, see what you get, and then check back with me. Okay, I'm going to FOIL x times x, 3x squared. Then the outside 2. X times negative 2y, negative 2xy. Inside, minus 4 times 3x minus 12xy. Last, plus 8y squared. Okay, and again, I can combine those two middle terms. That's equal to 3x squared minus 14xy plus 8y squared. And that's my final answer for number 7. Moving along, I got 3 more to go. Be careful with this one. Here's what I see with this one all the time. 16x squared plus 1. Squared that, squared that. It's got to be right. No. Be careful. 4x plus 1 squared means 4x plus 1 times 4x plus 1. And you'll see why it's not going to be 16x squared plus 1. You got to FOIL. 16x squared plus 4x plus 4x plus 1, giving me a final answer of, when I combine my like terms, 16x squared plus 8x plus 1. Okay, now 9 and 10, the first ones we have a binomial times a trinomial. So this is like FOIL, but there's not a nice acronym for it. You're going to have to take this x, multiply it by all three terms. And then you're going to have to take the -1 and multiply it by all three terms. That gives you 6 terms. Okay, and then you're going to combine like terms. So I'll show you how I like to do this one. Let's start with the x, run it by all three of them. That's 2x cubed minus 4x squared minus 1. That's what I get when I do the blue arrows. Okay, now I'm going to do the red guys. -1 times 2x squared is -2x squared. But notice I'm going to line these up. I'm going to put the x squared term. Oh, let me go back. I made a mistake with that last one. Hold on. You probably caught that. X times 1 is x, not 1. -1. X times +1 is positive x. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong number. I'm going to get that 1 in a second. So real quick, x times 2x squared gives me the 2x cubed. X times -4x, -4x squared, and then x times 1 is 1x, x or 1x. Okay, back to the -1. Now run that through -2x squared. Notice I'm going to line it up under the x squared term here, okay? Because if I do that, then I can just add them together a little bit easier. -1 times 4x is -4x. Again, I'm going to line those guys up right there. And then finally, -1 times +1. That's what I did by mistake. Now this makes it a little bit easier to combine like terms. I'll go back to blue for my answer. 2x cubed minus 4x squared minus 2x squared minus 6x squared. 1x minus 4x minus 3x minus 1. That's my answer for that one. Okay, and then finally, number 10, last one. Same idea. Why don't you pause the video and try this one? Check back with me, see if you get this. 6a squared minus 4ab plus 8a plus 3ab minus 2b squared plus 4b. Okay, not a whole lot of common terms there. Let's check those real quick. 6a squared minus 4ab plus 8a. That one looks good. Plus 3ab minus 2b squared plus 4b. Okay. Now I just have these are the only like terms I got, so I just got to decide where I want to put everything. I'll start with my 2a terms. I'll put the ab term next, minus 1ab, and then I'll do my b term and my b squared term. Okay. I hope that video helps. Keep practicing.